All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to our virtual press conference today. It's great to have you here on the call. If I could ask that anyone who's jumped on could please mute your microphones for the time being, and you'll see a raise your hand button at the top of the screen there. If you want to ask any questions, just hit that button right there and I'll get a queue up on my screen that we can ask Shyla questions throughout the chat here. But let's not waste any more time. We'll get Shyla on the call, and if you want to pop those hands up in the meantime. Shyla, great to have you here in Geelong.
It's good to be here. Hi, guys.
Of course, representing, I guess, your dad's history in Geelong as well, coming through, and you're going to be also donning his number that he played here previously with as well.
Yeah, no. My dad had nothing but good things to say about Geelong, the city, the organisation. So it was a pretty easy choice for me to come play in Geelong, and I really wasn't looking for any other team in Australia other than here. So yeah, it's really great to be here.
Well, it looks like we've got some questions ready already. So Jasper, Bruce, coming to you first.
Thanks, mate. Hey, Shyla, congratulations on the new deal. Can you just talk to us about how the last little bit has played out for yourself in terms of how these discussions sort of started to get you back here, and I guess the last couple of years since we last saw you in the WNBL rather?
Yeah, I mean, Geelong was speaking to me last year as well, but I decided to go to Europe. And I mean, it was a tough choice. I had a lot of really, really big offers to go back to Europe this year. I mean, I've established myself really well over there and really grown my game. So my choice to come back here, I'm only 23, so this is what I've chosen to do right now, and I think this is the best thing for my career. And I mean, with such a new club like Geelong, I thought it was a perfect fit. I mean, I had a lot of talks to the owners and to Chris, the coach, and their vision, they really sold me on what they're doing, and I was really excited for that. So that's really why I came back.
Jasper, you can go again if you feel.
Oh, that's okay. I'll give someone else a go.
No worries. Paul, coming over to you.
Hey, Shyla, congratulations on joining the team. I'm really curious to find out how you found your experience in Europe when compared to your experience here in the WNBL, and how you found the style of the game was different.
Yeah, I mean, well, I played in 4 different countries, so each country was a very different style. So that was cool in the way that I got to experience different styles of play and had to change my game for each of them. So in comparison to the WNBL, I mean, the EuroLeague was one of the best leagues in the world, just under the WNBA. So playing against, the best, most experienced players in Europe really helped grow my game. And I think I'm going to be able to take that back with me. I haven't been playing in Australia for 2 years now, and I'm really going to play with a chip on my shoulder and show everyone how much I've improved.
And I'm really curious to understand, while you were over there in Europe, and as you said, you've played a number of different countries, how different did you find the style of play between the different countries, and what did you learn and include into your game from that experience?
For me, I feel like I matured a lot as a player in Europe, just because, most of the imports are 28, 29 plus. I went over when I was 22 years old. So I had to really mature in the fact that I had a big role to play as an import. I took that on, and, as a point guard, you already have a leadership role. So I matured with my game, adjusting to the styles of play, but also Europe is off court, you have to mature really quickly as well. You're away from your family. Your teammates usually don't speak English. The Americans, each American varies, but they like to keep their space as well. So you spend a lot of time on your own, and that's something I really matured as a person as well as a player off the court as well.
Great, thanks.
Jacinta, you're up next.
Hello, thank you. Welcome back again, Shyla, and it's been a pleasure watching you back in NBL 1 East as well. So just on the back of what Paul was asking about your time in Europe, what do you feel like are some of the main areas you improved on in Europe that you're keen to implement here in Geelong, that you feel like can give Geelong a good shot at the finals for next WNBL season?
Honestly, I think I've just gained so much more experience. Before I left for Europe, like I had only played in Australia. Now I've been playing against, WNBA imports week in and week out. So I think just that experience I'll be able to help to bring to the Geelong team and help Chris, So I think obviously the experience, but also I've worked on my craftiness. As a point guard, I'm not super fast, but I need to play at 2 paces, and that's something I'm still continuing to grow in. But that's something that I've really added to my game and worked on. So I'll be excited to hopefully add that to the Australian League and keep on growing in that aspect as well.
And just follow up, when you say playing at 2 paces, is that more as an individual in one-on-one situations or more as a point guard for a team being able to recognise when to run and when to pull it back?
More as an individual aspect, like playing with 2 paces, using hezzies, beating my man, but also like creating for my teammates. We're going to have so much talent on the Geelong team. It's going to be really fun to play with. I'm really excited to play with Jazz in the backcourt. I think we're going to really complement each other offensively and defensively. So I think it'll be really fun.
Cool. Thanks, Shyla.
Meg, over to you.
Hi, Shyla. Just to clarify, so you're in Geelong at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah. Because obviously, like playing with the NBL 1 East, how long are you down for? I know I saw you at the Geelong's game yesterday as well. Is it just a kind of a touchdown thing and then back to the East, or?
Yeah. I got here yesterday and I leave on Tuesday, so just a quick trip and then back home until preseason starts in Geelong.
Okay, cool. Awesome. What do you, I guess, watching them, I know a few of the girls are playing with United at the moment for NBL 1. What was that just like to be at the arena yesterday, see the crowds and see the girls in action?
It was really cool. I mean, the crowd yesterday was awesome. Like, you don't see many crowds like that in NBL 1, and seeing so many kids running around is really cool for me. Having a WNBL team and people that they can look up to and motivate them to keep playing and working hard is really cool. So that was awesome to see yesterday, and hopefully we can keep growing that for the WNBL as well.
Yeah, I guess, it's building on that first kind of inaugural season. What most excites you about joining a club that still is kind of ramping up in what they want to kind of do in the league? I think finished 7th and about 5 or so wins. Do you feel like there is the makings of something special, this season? I think I did read that you said you wanted to win a championship in Geelong. Just those kind of goals. How do you see it moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, well, the goal's always to win a championship, but that's easy to say and harder to do. So there's steps you really got to follow to do that. But I think we have the tools to do that. For me, it starts off with culture, and I think Chris has done a great job choosing good people before good players. And I think that's going to translate to on the court as well. Like I said before, we're going to have a lot of talent, and hopefully we can really gel together and do something special. But I do have a lot of confidence that we're going to do well, and it's up to us now. Work hard, and hopefully it translates.
Obviously, still some pieces to the roster to kind of to come, but you get to get a couple of US imports in. How important will that be? I think Chris said as well last year the pieces they were looking at were a point guard, which is yourself, but then also some forwards and centers as well. What are you expecting, I guess, from the roster that will eventually be put together?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm already aware of the 2 that we've signed. Obviously, I can't say, but I know it's going to be great. They're also 2 good people, but they're going to suit our style of play very well. It's going to be really exciting for the fans to watch, an up-tempo team that loves to play defense and get after it. So, yeah, all I can say is it's going to be really exciting.
Just the last one for me. You're 23, you said, I think 9 years also you played pro ball for a long time. Do you feel like a bit kind of coming in, or just your experience for this team? There's who have been around the league for a little bit, but to be a really kind of experienced head despite your age coming into this team, do you feel like that's going to be a benefit to the girls around you?
Yeah, it's pretty funny because I am only 23 going into my 9th season. Most people my age are just coming out of college and just starting their careers professionally. So for me, that is pretty cool. And in a way, I do feel like a vet a little bit, but I do think I can add that experience to this Geelong team and really help them on court as well. But I think we're going to be a great mix. We already have some experienced players like Sharpie, Jazz is experienced too, and then plus the 2 Americans. So I think it's going to balance out well.
Thank you so much.
Jasper, coming back to you.
Thanks, mate. Shyla, obviously your focus now will just be on Geelong, I imagine, but we know you did spend a bit of time over in Phoenix with the Mercury earlier this year. I guess do experiences like that sort of prove to yourself that you're not too far away from another shot, hopefully full time at the WNBA, and I guess can this time with Geelong be a bit of a springboard potentially? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the WNBA is all about timing. I already know I'm up to playing in the WNBA, and I've proven that. I did really well at camp and in the practice game. But yeah, it's all about timing, and I will be there eventually. It's just when the timing's right. And yeah, I mean, Phoenix, the experience was all really good. Camp was great. They're a great organization. So it was a really good experience for me. And, I'm just taking it step by step. Hopefully have a great season here at Geelong and see what's next after that.
Is it a 1-year deal here, just at Geelong? Or?
It's a 2-year deal. Second year's optional.
Yeah, cool. And I guess you mentioned before, Shyla, that when you were looking to come back, Geelong was kind of the only team you could see yourself playing for. Obviously, the last season you spent out here, there was some very high highs and I'm sure some pretty tough moments as well with the way it ended at the Flames. Was there any reticence about coming back here, or was there any sort of, was it loaded at all to make that call to come back to the WNBL?
I mean, last time I was here, it was pretty tough. The season I had was a very unique one. But honestly, Geelong starting out fresh. It's a total different and fresh start for me. So it was a pretty easy choice. I mean, like I said, I can't wait to play under this ownership group. They're good people, which is the main thing to me. And yeah, it was a pretty easy choice to come represent them.
How much has your dad told you about his sort of 3 years playing in Geelong, obviously well before you were born, but what sort of memories has he shared with you of that time of his own career?
He shared a lot of memories. He was a teenager playing here for the Supercats, but he had nothing but good things to say. He loved living in Geelong. He said it's a great city, and he said there was great people everywhere here. And he said the games were electric. He was always celebrating, hitting threes, and hopefully I can do the same thing.
And do you feel like just personally you have grown since that last stint in the WNBL, like not even just as a basketballer, but just as a person, for having gone through, like you say, that tough year out here in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, not many people throughout their whole basketball careers have to go through that, and it was a very unique experience. So I think that really matured me. I learned a lot from that experience, but you know what? It's a setback. It happens, and you cop it on the chin and keep going. So yeah, I'm just happy. I love playing under my dad. He's a great person and great dad. So that was a cool experience in that factor as well.
Thanks, Charlotte. Appreciate it.
Paul, back to you.
Shyla, I want to touch on your NBL 1 East experience at the moment. You spent a couple of seasons with the Comets, and then you've gone away. You're back with Bankstown. How's that playing out for you? And also, how much change have you seen in the NBL 1 and the quality of play?
Yeah, so I chose to go to Bankstown this season. I knew the coach from juniors, so that was the main reason. It's also really close to home. So, they got some really good juniors and some talent. So I thought add me to the mix and we would be pretty good. So we've won 5 straight, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been a good time. But I mean, NBL 1, I would say the East is probably mid of the pack. Talent-wise, so not the best league, but I mean, it's been good. I've been having fun.
That's cool. And like I said, just curious in terms of how the league has shifted, right, in the time that you were away. How have you found that?
I mean, now that the East is starting to pay more, so they're getting better imports in, the talent's starting to rise. That's probably the biggest shift I would say I've kind of seen. But it's also hard when there's other really good leagues like, the South and all that. So, but I mean, the East is getting better, and it's good to see.
That's it for me. Thanks.
Lachlan, over to you.
Long time no see, Shyla. Welcome back to the WNBL. I mean, everyone's been speaking about, Shane's legacy with Geelong, but, looking at your own resume at 23, there's not many people who have championship, second team, all the rest. It's how much is your own legacy going to determine the next couple of years in the WNBL?
That's a good question. I mean, my strength is my work ethic and how hard I work off the court to perform in the game. So it really is in my own destiny. And as a player, I'm always looking in new aspects that I can improve my game and work hard. And yeah, it really is in my own destiny. And I think the sky's the limit. I'm only 23 and I've achieved so much already, but it's crazy to say it's really just the start of my career.
It is difficult. We all know the WNBA roster situation. It's impossible to get everyone in. There's only so many spots, but to maintain the mindset, especially how Chicago ended and then this recent training camp, how does that fuel you to continue that work ethic each year rather than doing I've tried everything I can mindset?
For me, it's more about enjoying the game, loving the game, and enjoying the process, not really the outcomes. Like I said before, I love the game and I love to work hard and improve. So for me, it's about the process, not so much the outcomes. I know I'm going to be in the WNBA. It's just the timing of when. And for me, I love the game, so it's not too hard to stay motivated, to be honest.
And we've seen between, yourself, Sammy, Zatina recently, a lot of people are now have been to Europe and now they've come back. So you and Zatina have been the first two Aussies to come back from Europe. From an overall perspective, what really has changed in your point of view? And, speaking for a lot of Aussies who decided that overseas was a better opportunity then versus now.
I would say probably, it's really hard to compete with the money overseas. The money is just insane. And I mean, it varies for each player. Turkey was the best league in Europe and Zatina and I were both there. So it's probably in the aspect that, we like to come home. It's a refresh. Everyone speaks English. You come home to your family. You're not as lonely. Like it's a very big grind in Europe. And unless you've done it, you don't actually realize it. So I think the little things like that is really refreshing and probably also why Zatina has signed back here. Just the little things like English.
And I mean, between Geelong currently rebranding and the WNBL going under a brand new look, how exciting is it, especially with your fashion background, to be involved in something that's so new and fresh from your point of view?
It's really exciting. I mean, Geelong is so new and so fresh, like you said. Rebranding their name, it's all going on, and it's really exciting to be a part of. Yeah, I'm just really excited to be here and can't wait to get started.
And particularly with the new ownership with Robert Dinholm and Barry Kesselman with Basketball Australia, the WNBL is seeing new resourcing that it's never seen before. How much did that appeal to you in your decision to come to Geelong?
I mean, I'm really intrigued to see how the new league goes, to be honest. But I really didn't come back for the new league. I came back to play specifically for Geelong. That's what intrigued me. But I mean, hopefully they keep building women's basketball. The WNBL needs to keep growing and needs to keep getting better for the young girls in Australia to look up to. So I'm really intrigued about that, and fingers crossed it really goes well and starts growing.
Thanks, Shyla. That's all from me.
No worries.
So nobody else in the queue at the moment, but feel free to jump in if you've got any more questions. From me in the meantime, obviously you've had the whole European thing going on over the last couple of years. There's been almost the heartbreak and triumph that go hand in hand of the WNBA. Is there anything coming out of those experiences for the WNBA that you feel like this is the thing that might just be missing for the moment that has me not getting over that line and getting that contract that you're looking to work on whilst you're back here in the WNBL?
Honestly, no. Like I took so much confidence out of my last stint in Phoenix, and I think because the Chicago's experience was not good at all for me, I didn't have big expectations going into it. So I would say like I've just taken so much confidence and I know I belong over in the WNBA now. So now it's really just working on my game back in Australia and taking it step by step, helping Geelong. And if it happens, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm not relying on it. I mean, yeah, I just really want to be happy and do what I do. Love the game.
And you've obviously got some really great connections with a whole bunch of coaching staff and all that over there now as well. What's been some of the feedback from them as far as the real positives on your game that they're seeing you are kind of on the fringe of the league, I guess you'd say?
Yeah, I had really good feedback after I got back from Phoenix. I had a few people say some things to my agent, which gave me a lot of confidence and also kind of reminded me it's about the style of each play. They're looking for the style of each team's play. They're looking for something different. And for Phoenix, I just didn't match that this year. They wanted to play positionless basketball, so they needed bigger guards, which doesn't suit me. And it really just reminds me that, it wasn't the right situation, but I know the right situation will come around.
Excellent. Meg, back to you.
So yeah, just one follow-up, just around the movement of the WNBL ownership. And you said obviously that it was more so you were more intrigued by Geelong, but to see, I guess, some of the stuff that is on the table of what they are trying to do, raising kind of wages as well, what Larry and that have done with the NBL as well. How important do you feel like, I guess, some of those things on the table are to kind of raising the position of women's sport, women's basketball in Australia?
Well, it gives me a lot of confidence because they've built up the NBL one so well. All the advertisement they do on the social media and all the followers that they've gained, they've built it up so well. So if they can do the same thing with the WNBL, I'm sure we'll be in really good hands. And I'm confident in that. And that's what Australia needs for women's basketball right now.
Do you feel like, because pathways in Australia like this is fairly kind of well set up and for younger girls coming up through those pathways to have that kind of league in Australia at the highest kind of standard that it can be, is that really important to you?
Yeah, that's extremely important for young girls to have a pathway to play professionally in Australia, especially when college is making so much money now with the NIL deals. It becomes even more important to have a pathway here and give them options and keep our talent in Australia instead of going to college. I think that's a big thing, and WNBL needs to keep growing and starting to hopefully increase wages. That's how we're going to really keep kids here in Australia wanting to play professionally here.
Jacinta, coming to you.
Just on the growth of the WNBL, Shyla, if you got to pick, where would you like to see expansion teams for the WNBL in the future?
Oh, that's a good question. I would love to see a Gold Coast team. I think the lifestyle in Gold Coast, I've lived there personally, warm, just a great lifestyle. And I think a lot of people would come watch because there's only a North Queensland team in Townsville. So I think that would be a great place for it.
If anybody else has got anything to add, they can jump in the queue right now. We've got nobody in there to ask some questions at the moment, so feel free to jump in at any point. But I guess you've spent a somewhat short time in Geelong so far. You've obviously had previous visits as well. But as far as the lifestyle and everything is concerned, outside of basketball, what are you looking forward to being here in Geelong?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell the vibes in Geelong are going to suit my lifestyle already,
Aside from the weather that we're having today.
Yeah, it'll be summer, so it's fine.
It will be, yeah.
It's fine. But just, going to cute little cafes, everything's close by. You don't need to drive too far. I think it's just going to be such a good lifestyle off court. And I mean, it's such a balance for a professional athlete. You need to be working hard or off court, but you need to be happy on court, but you need to be happy off court as well. And I think Geelong's the perfect place to be happy and living your life off court.
Access to all the great beaches so close by and everything like that. And the lifestyle, as you said, is the one that a lot of our players have been enjoying so far. So I'm guessing there'll be a lot of group adventures to the beach and all that kind of stuff throughout the season. Is that something that you're looking forward to, being around your teammates as well, having those kind of adventures around the area?
Definitely. I mean, it's kind of a full circle moment for me because I've played with 4 of these girls at the AIS when we were a bit younger. So it's really cool being able to link back up with them again. And I'm sure we're going to be going on a lot of adventures this year.
And looking back on those players who you've had connections with before, who you're now joining the team with, what do you feel has, I guess, changed about them from when you have had those experiences with them in the past to, I guess, their playing development now and, all those types of things?
Yeah, well, it's crazy because we were about 16 years old, so we've really turned into women now instead of girls. And you see Jazz Shelley, who's gone to college and had an amazing college career. Just seeing her thrive, and now I get to play with her again. That's awesome. And then you got Taylor Mole, Alyssa Brett, Gemma Potter, like. They're really talented, and I think it's going to be great pieces to our team, but also they're great people, which is even better. So I think, it's going to be so exciting.
And we touched on the fact that you were here briefly for the NBL 1 games yesterday. The vibe that we try and set in there for everyone is like super high energy and everything like that. Are you looking forward to getting out in front of that crowd and feeling the energy of the Geelong fans?
I wanted to play yesterday. I was watching it. I was like, oh, this crowd's going off.
Yep.
I need to play. But nah, it'll come around quick. And I can't wait.
And as far as preseason is concerned, gearing up to get into that, what are you expecting of Chris, I guess, and his style going into a preseason couple of months?
I've had a few chats with Chris, and I'm really excited to play under him. I haven't played under him before. I know we're going to be playing an up-tempo style, really getting after it defensively, and that's really my game. So I'm really looking forward to improving under Chris, and I think he's going to be a great coach to play under.
And is there anything that you've seen, I guess, in coming up against teams that Chris has been head coach of previously, where you're kind of seen it firsthand and now you're going into it thinking, oh, cool, I get to be a part of that whole system now. That's exciting for me.
Probably just his defense. I would say he always plays up-tempo and aggressive defense. So it would be cool to be on the other side of that now and, terrorize other teams.
Yep. And if you had a message for the people of Geelong as far as, what you expect to bring to the court, what the team's going to be like this season, what would that be?
You're going to see an up-tempo, aggressive style Geelong team, fresh face, new players, and hopefully get a lot of wins. I would say come down, watch some games. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and hopefully see a lot of 3 bombs.
Very nice. Well, we've still got no one in the queue left at the moment. So if you've got any final questions before we sign off, feel free to jump in there and get those last ones in. But otherwise, we're going to wrap it up right there. This whole chat will be going up on our YouTube channel as well. So you'll have access to it right there if you need any of that kind of stuff there too. But if that's all we've got for now, we might call it a day right there and appreciate you jumping on the call. But thanks for coming in. We'll look to do more of these ones throughout the season as our players start to roll in, as we sign them on and announce them as we go through the preseason range of things that are happening. So we look forward to getting you back on the call real soon. And we'll leave it there for now. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Shyla. Thanks, Ben.